Urgent Atlanta Falcons fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Atlanta Falcons updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Falcons fans! Today, we have some sizzling news that's been making waves across the NFL community, and trust me, you won't want to miss this. The offseason is always a time of excitement, speculation, and sometimes, surprises that can shake up the entire league. And right now, a particular trade proposal involving the Atlanta Falcons is causing quite a buzz. It's got fans, analysts, and insiders talking nonstop, and for good reason. What's happening? Well, a trade scenario has emerged that could potentially reshape parts of the Falcons roster, and it all centers around a player who, at first glance, might not seem like a key piece, yet, the implications of this move are anything but small. So, let's set the scene. The Falcons, a team that's been building steadily over the past few years, especially on offense with their dynamic quarterback and talented receivers, are now being linked to a possible deal that involves a significant exchange of draft capital. Now, you might be asking, who's the player involved? Well, interestingly enough, it's a player who hasn't been a consistent starter in Atlanta, but someone with potential and, more importantly, a lot of trade value. This kind of move, trading away a non-starter for future draft picks, is a classic strategy in the NFL, teams looking to build for the long term, to add more assets, and to be flexible in their roster management. And that's where things get really intriguing. The trade proposal, which is still purely speculative at this point, suggests that the Falcons could be looking to leverage this player's trade value to acquire multiple draft picks. The idea behind this is quite strategic, to amass more ammunition in the draft to select players who can impact the team immediately or develop into core pieces in the future. Draft capital is gold in the NFL, especially for teams like Atlanta that are trying to accelerate their rebuild or fill specific needs. Now, why would the Falcons consider trading a player who isn't a starter? Well, the answer is multifaceted. First, NFL teams often see potential in players who haven't yet broken into a starting role but show flashes of talent, grit, or the physical tools necessary to succeed. If they believe that the player's value can be maximized through a trade, that can be a smart move. It opens up roster spots, creates cap flexibility, and brings in draft picks that can be used to shore up other positions. The Falcons, in particular, have been focusing on rebuilding their defense, which has shown signs of improvement but still needs depth and consistency. Or perhaps they're eyeing a specific position in this draft or free agency and want more assets to make a splash. The NFL offseason is always a whirlwind of rumors, and this one is no different. Right now, the details are still under wraps, and we're all waiting for more concrete information. But the chatter is loud, and the implications could be significant. Imagine a scenario where the Falcons, by trading away this non-starter, acquire multiple future picks, say, a second-rounder and a third-rounder, and then use those picks to target a young, high-upside linebacker or a talented cornerback. Or maybe they're planning to package those picks to move up in the draft and snag a top-tier prospect. It's all about strategic maneuvering, and the Falcons have shown in recent years that they're not afraid to make bold moves. Let's talk a little about the current state of the Falcons roster. Atlanta has been in a bit of a transition phase, trying to find consistency on both sides of the ball. Their offense, led by quarterback Desmond Ridder, has shown flashes of brilliance, especially with the explosive talent they have at receiver, including Kyle Pitts and Drake London. The offensive line has been solid, but they still need to improve in certain areas to protect their quarterback better and open more running lanes. Defensively, the team has been improving, but they lack depth in key spots like linebacker and cornerback, which are critical in today's pass-heavy NFL. This potential trade, if it comes to fruition, could be part of a broader strategy by the Falcons front office to build a more balanced and versatile roster. They've been investing in young talent through the draft, and acquiring additional picks could give them the flexibility to target specific players that fit their system. It's also worth noting that the Falcons have been quite active in free agency over the past couple of years, trying to add veteran leadership and experience to their young core. So, this move could be another step in that ongoing process of team building. Now, about the player involved, while we're still waiting on official confirmation or names, the speculation suggests that the player in question isn't a star yet, but someone with a lot of potential. Perhaps a young linebacker or a versatile defensive back who's been on the roster but hasn't had a consistent role. The value of such players often lies in their upside. If the Falcons can flip this player for multiple draft picks, they might be looking to draft a future cornerstone or add depth in a way that aligns with their long-term vision. But, as always with NFL rumors, there's a flip side. Trading away a player, even a non-starter, can have ripple effects. It might open up competition in the roster, or it could create a void that needs to be filled quickly. The Falcons are aware of these risks, and their front office is known for weighing every move carefully. They have a talented coaching staff that's focused on developing young players, and they're always trying to strike that balance between immediate competitiveness and long-term sustainability. It's also worth noting that the Falcons are in a division that's getting more competitive each year. The NFC South has teams like the Saints, Panthers, and Buccaneers all vying for playoff positioning. The Falcons know that improving their roster is essential if they want to make a real push in 2024. And part of that process involves making smart trades, smart draft picks, and sometimes, bold moves like trading away a player for future assets. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this really the right move? Should they be focusing on adding proven talent instead of draft picks? Well, that's the eternal debate in the NFL. While proven veterans can bring immediate impact, the draft is where you build your future, especially for a team like Atlanta that's still in the early stages of a rebuild. The strategy here seems to be to accumulate assets, be patient, and then make a splash when the right opportunity arises. And this is what makes the NFL offseason so exciting. Every day, new rumors, new reports, and new strategies come to light. Atlanta, like many other teams, is carefully plotting its course for the upcoming season. Whether they decide to go through with this trade or not, it's a reminder of how dynamic and unpredictable NFL team building can be. Fans are eager, analysts are dissecting every move, and the overall landscape of the league can change in a heartbeat. So, stay tuned, because I'll be keeping a close eye on this story. We could see some official news soon, and when that happens, you can bet we'll break it down for you in detail. Meanwhile, I encourage all Falcons fans watching to keep the optimism high. The team is moving in a direction that's promising, and this offseason could be the key to unlocking their potential and finally making that next leap toward the playoffs and beyond. Remember, the NFL is about patience, strategy, and sometimes taking risks. The Falcons are clearly exploring their options, and whether or not this particular trade materializes, it shows a team that's hungry to improve and eager to compete at the highest level. Until then, keep supporting your team, stay engaged, and enjoy the ride. This offseason is just getting started, and with so many possibilities on the horizon, the best is yet to come for Atlanta. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this trade proposal? Do you think it's a smart move? Are you excited about the potential draft picks they could acquire? Or do you believe they should focus on signing proven veterans to boost their chances this season? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons as a whole. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with even more updates, rumors, and analysis on everything happening around the Atlanta Falcons and the NFL. So, stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the conversation going. This is your source for all things Falcons, and I promise to keep bringing you the latest news as it unfolds. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!